Really don't know what to say. It's hard to imagine coming to a place like this and scoring 4 goals, being up, and then just losing some 1v1 defensive battles. And while this is usually when you go to Portland and if you could say, hey, you're going to get a draw out of the game, you would take it. But it doesn't feel that way, and that's not what we had a chance to do. So definitely feel like we let 2 points slip there. Nobody to blame but ourselves. I would like to have a conversation with somebody in VAR where they can explain to me how there's a confrontation after the goal that got called back for offsides, but at the end of the day, that's not what lost us the game. So we just have to go on with it and try to see if we can look at the game film and identify a way where we can look at this going into Galaxy and improve. But this is definitely our Achilles heel right now because we're giving up too many goals, and it's very frustrating.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to questions. First one, Tom.
John, kind of defensively, kind of more of the same. You give up a goal not long after you score a goal, and then you can't close out a game. You're just seeing the same things repeated.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. It's I don't even know what to say, Tom. I'm anxious to go look at the game film. I do want to give Portland credit. I mean, they're a really good team. They have some very dynamic attacking players. Evander hits a worldie of a free kick there. I'm not sure that was a foul. Doesn't look like Jose even touched him. But again, that's on us. We have to do better in these areas because we can't expect to go on the road and score 4 goals and give up 4 goals. That's just unacceptable.
Is this the kind of thing where you also have to be careful that this doesn't turn into something more? This seems like a pretty devastating time to get today.
Yeah, it is, but it's sports. So you have to deal with all these emotions and you have to be resilient. And that's what I'll ask our team to be. It's incredibly frustrating. But the only choice we have is to go try to fix it.
Next, we'll go to Justin.
Yeah, guys, kind of go along those same lines. What was the environment like at halftime? You're up 3-1, but Portland had some momentum towards the end of the half. What was the thinking going into the second half at that point?
The thinking was that we hadn't played very well in the first half. We had a lot of turnovers that were unforced. A lot of them trying to play one touch. We were overplaying in some moments. We obviously got up and then they started. Again, they're a team they're a good attacking team, one of the best. So, but we just made a couple tactical adjustments and that looked like it was going to work really well. But if you don't win, balls are put into your box and you don't jump for headers, you don't stand guys up and you don't get a block. I mean, these are all critical moments in a game that are very preventable and should be executed at this level at a much higher level. So, coming out of halftime, we really thought that we had to get better with the ball, that we changed our shape of our defense a little bit to account for them throwing numbers forward. And that looked, at least early in that half, like that was going to, be a good way to go for the rest of the half. You get up by 2 goals and then they literally throw numbers forward with reckless abandon, but that's okay. We just need to deal with those moments. Balls flighted in the box. We got to get a header on them. Second balls, we have to battle for those. We were very timid and didn't like that. It didn't feel good watching it from the side. Tried to make some substitutions that bring some life to it, and that unfortunately that didn't work either.
And then touch on some of the offensive successes, because obviously you do score 4 goals. Marcel Hartel is only the second player in MLS history to record 3 assists in his regular season debut. Can you talk a little bit about his performance tonight and just what he meant to that attack?
Yeah, Cello's an exceptional player, and fantastic for him to get 3 assists. But at the same time, like the one thing I like about our locker room right now is everyone is really, really upset. I don't think there's one person in there that isn't feeling the exact same way I am. Roman spoke very candidly about the fact that this just is not, it's not going to get us to where we want to go. We're not going to be the team, no matter whether we're scoring 4 goals or not. Got to be able to defend your box. And unfortunately, we didn't do that.
We'll go back to Tom.
Yeah, there's still a lot of obviously new pieces coming in, and we saw new pieces on defense. And not to say that's the entire problem, but is defensively there's still lessons. Obviously, there are lessons to be learned, but is the group coming together as well defensively as they apparently are offensively?
Tom, sometimes the number of goals you give up or the number of goals you score, can hide a lot of the in between, the transition moments, and so, an easy way to prevent some of these defensive moments from happening is just be better with the ball. And unfortunately, when you ask that question, all I can think about is like our team has come together really well. We are playing, I would still say we're playing better. But on the same side, we're not when we give up those many goals and do it in the fashion that we did it. So, while we have improved a lot as a group, we still have so many areas we have to get right.
Yeah, and obviously it's hard to do when Portland's throwing everything over, but yeah, it seemed like you didn't have a whole lot of time with the ball in the second half to try to, whether you're going to work the clock or whatever, or to put pressure on them after you got the 4th.
Yeah, again, you're spot on. If we would manage the game better with the ball, we wouldn't have given up the moments we did. Even late in that game, I still felt like, okay, we're going to go search for a winner here. But then right away, we're giving up a counterattack the other way. And we just have to fix that, is all I can really say. And we'll go back and spend a lot of time on the training field and trying to get it right.
And some things you don't see very often. Roman hasn't bobbled many balls all year, and like twice, he does it tonight. So it seems like there's all sorts of things happening.
Yeah, that's sports, right? I mean, you have Roman made some unbelievable saves, so I don't want to fault him, but you expect Roman to hold for sure the 3rd goal you expect him to hold. It was a good shot. It was curling away from him a little bit, so it wasn't easy, but 10 times out of 10 you expect him to hold that.
We got time for 2 more with Coach.
If no one else is going to go, yeah, offensively, you had chances, but I don't know, could you have had more than 4 goals tonight?
We probably should have, because when a team throws the numbers of players forward that Portland did, it's going to create opportunities for us to counter them. And unfortunately, we didn't get that right at all. I can think of at least 5 to 6 chances where if we play the right pass at the right time, we are in on goal. And a lot of those we didn't even connect that. So that's another area, you never want to win a game 5-4, but this one, and again, this is a crazy environment, really good team we're playing, but yes, I felt like we could have opened them up a little more even.
And we'll finish with Justin.
Yeah, Coach, I just wanted to ask about how close Shao Klaus and Rasmus Holm were to making the lineup tonight. I know they're getting closer.
Yeah, we hope to have them in full training next week, and that they would be available for selection for LA, and that would be fantastic. I mean, having those guys come back to us, will be fantastic for us.
Simon, how much does this one hurt?
Yeah, a lot. I think we poured a lot into the game. Had a lot of different people contribute, and the performance we had, it really stings, to be honest. Feel like we should have walked away with 3 points, but going on the road and playing like that for 110 minutes almost, it really stings, especially when you work that hard and you put that much into the game.
Defensively, at times, it just lets you down there. What's not working for this team defensively?
Honestly, I think we're going to have to look at it. And I think defensively, it starts with 11 players. So I don't think that it boils down to 1 or 2 moments. I think across the board, we have to be better. We have to win duels, win second balls, and I think that in a game where maybe it wasn't our best game, when you are clinical in those moments, we just have to, I guess, be better as a team and see that out.
What's the dressing room like after a game like this?
I think any competitive team, any team with as much talent as ours, would be pretty disappointed as it is. It definitely stings. So I think that means that we're moving in the right direction. Because if it didn't, then I think we could say we're happy walking out of Portland with a tie. Because obviously they're a really good group, but I don't think that's the sentiment. I think the sentiment is that really stung.
We'll go to Justin.
Yeah, Simon, you had a very involved game. How are you feeling after that match? You took a little bit of a beating at certain points.
Pretty good. No.
What can you say a bit about that dust-up that happened on the third goal that was called back that seemed like you're a little angry about?
I mean, I'm sure. I hope someone will have a look at it. It's not really up to me. I don't want to say anything that'll get me in trouble, so I'm just going to say I hope it's looked at. I don't know. I don't really know what to say.
Okay. And then to go a little more positively, obviously the result stings, but to get the goal first on the header to draw that penalty, how are you feeling through this early moments where it felt like the team was buzzing?
Yeah, good. I think, even in our last couple games, we've shown, flashes. I think I've spoke on it earlier. It's about doing it for 75, 80, 90 minutes. And I think we're yet to put together a complete game. And, I think that's a maturity thing. It's a thing that, the team has to, if we want to be where we want to be, it's something we need to work on. It's something we need to do because I think we're so good for so long. And then, I think, as an 11, as a 15, as a 21-man squad, on the day, we have to, really come together in those moments when things aren't going well, because that's inevitable, and see it through.
Tom?
After Cedric scores right before the half to make it 3-1, and after Nookvi scores to make it 4-2, do you have give us a little sigh of relief there and say, okay, it looks like we've figured things out and we've got back to a 2-goal lead and we're in better shape?
I don't know if a sigh of relief, but I think, it feels good when obviously, things are coming off. I think we've worked so much on, our final product and being more clinical. I think, again, like I said, it's a little bit of a maturity thing that the entire squad has to go through. All 11 guys on the team, we have to, right after we right after we score, right after we take leads, we have to be better at playing with it, and I think definitely it's going to be something we look at.
What was the pressure that they brought like in the second half? Because you guys spent a lot of time in your own end, and they had corner kick after corner kick, they just kept coming. It seemed. What was that like?
Yeah, they were just putting a lot of balls in the box, and I think that made it difficult for us, and we were pinned in a bit, and I think that. They did a good job at that, and I think we actually did, for a long time. I think Roman made some fantastic saves. I mean, credit to the entire back line for all the block shots, and I think, I don't know, again, I think it's just disappointing that, we put so much into that game in critical moments, and in my mind, and I think the entire teams, we kind of let it slip through the cracks.
How do you come back from this one?
I think we just look at it and continue to build on it and take the learning moments and put it behind us, because we still have so much to play for, and I think we're still moving in a good direction. But again, if we don't learn from it, if we don't analyze it and put it into place, then it's for naught. So I think we'll obviously take a good look at it and learn from it.
Are games like this hard to put behind you though?
I don't think so. I think you kind of have to stay even keel. You can't take the highs too high and the lows too low. We have to do a good job at just analyzing and moving forward, because we can't look at it too long, in my opinion. In the same way you can't look at your wins or your good performances. You just have to take the good and the bad and learn from it, and focus on Galaxy next week.